were your goals heading into this game?
With Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, it's been a very successful series for us. The franchise, Naruto, continues to grow and get really, really big overseas in the Western world. And the Storm series of games is now on its 4th iteration, but each one has continued to really grow, sort of do better than the previous one, bring in more fans. The game has really been critically acclaimed for the way it does the storytelling, the cinematics, just the overall presentation of the game is just really beautiful. So moving into this new iteration, a couple of the key things was obviously to continue the storyline. That's one of the main reasons why people pick up a new Storm game. But also in the Naruto universe, the manga just recently ended last year in Japan. So there's a lot of fanaticism about the fact that the sort of the saga is coming to an end. So a lot of the fans are very, very looking forward to playing this particular game, and it was really important to us on the production side to make sure that we really make this a super, super epic game, and that was one of the biggest goals. And fans here are already trying the game and have been playing it. They're already blown away, but this is going to be a really amazing game. Naruto as a whole is a very complicated story, as much as many mangas and animes are. But in general, Naruto is about a character named Naruto who is a ninja, or he's training to basically become like the ultimate ninja. But he starts out when you first start following Naruto, the actual series, you see it from his childhood all the way till he grows to where he is now, and you also see his interactions with other characters. For example, friendly rivals, if you will. Originally started together as kids, enjoying the company, and then as both of these people's lives mature and get older, things change. Their relationships change, and so you kind of follow these different characters through these life stages. But at the same time, Naruto as a whole wants to become this ultimate ninja. He believes that it's his duty to sort of protect the village that he's from. But a lot of crazy stuff happens. There's hundreds of characters in the Naruto world, and one of the fascinating things for the fans to play the game is being able to jump in and play a lot of these characters and know all the side stories, all the different things that go in between these characters. It's quite a lot. I mean, this is an anime that's 700 episodes have been already made. I mean, so it's a long running thing that just keeps growing and evolving, and the characters and the relationships. It's a really. I think if you were to throw it on a map, you wouldn't be able to make any sense of it.
What have you added new to the fighting gameplay?
So the development team on this game is CyberConnect 2, and they are really amazing, talented development team, and they've been working on this franchise from day one, and they're really good about putting out a very high quality game. As the game comes out, you really get the chance to hear exactly what the fans have to say about it, and they scour the message boards, they look online, they read what the press had to say, but more importantly, they want to know what the fans really felt, and they take a lot of that feedback directly, not just from here, but in Europe, in Japan, everywhere, and they work on refining the next game. So this particular game is now in its 4th iteration, but in terms of the gameplay, in terms of the fighting mechanics, in terms of everything, it's probably the most refined, most improved version of the game. They're doing things that fans have been asking for. They're putting in more complexity and depth to the fighting. It's really interesting. When this game first came out, I mean, Naruto is all about ninjas, so it naturally fits to being somewhat of a fighting type game. But to be truly labeled as a fighter's game, like some of the other more traditional fighting games, it didn't initially have that street cred. And as more players started to play the game, they realized how much depth is actually in the strategy of the fighting. And now this game is actually starting to get into those fighting game circuits, going into those fighting game tournaments as a legitimate fighting game. And Storm 4 will definitely take it to the next level.
Can you talk about this game's roster?
Sure. So, with a lot of our anime franchises, it's all about the storylines, it's all about the characters, and in the case of Naruto, there are tons and tons of characters. We have not actually set a final number of characters in this game for a couple reasons. The anime is actually still in production in Japan, so we're getting a lot of real-time updates as the anime is being produced. A lot of that content is being considered for the game, so we're still kind of deciding, is this in, is that not in. Also, historically speaking, there's such a huge volume of characters, and fans of course love different ones. You can never please everybody, but to give you some context, the last game we had well over 100 characters in the game. So, when you think about, again, when you go back to the idea of a traditional fighting game, a fighting game with 30 or 40 characters, that's a pretty significant fighting game as it is, because you think about all the combinations. I can fight you, I can fight you, I can fight you, I can fight you. But when you take 100 characters and now you can do that, it's at a huge, enormous scale. So definitely this will have the biggest volume of characters. We just don't have the exact number yet.